Hello, Paul. What I'm going to do here is shoot a segmented video, put together about 4 or 5 parts of the process that I follow when powder coating. Basically, what we have here is a completely stock cylinder head, the hemi head off that Tillotson I just put together. So I'll disassemble this, I will clean it, I will tape it up, and then I will take it into the booth and powder coat it. This one I'm going to be doing the gloss black that I like doing. And I'll show, each individual part of it, not one super long video, just a bunch of the important parts of it. Anyway, here we go. Okay, Paul, now we have this cylinder head pulled apart. All of the parts and pieces are off of it, just a bare casting. As the process goes from here, what I'll do is remove any gasket material we have on it. I will run it through a 3-part cleaning process. First thing it hits is a solvent tank. After that, then I do a hot water bath, and then what we use is denatured alcohol to remove the rest of the oils. Now, one of the reasons I asked you for bare castings that had never been run is aluminum is very porous, and if it's been run, it tends to absorb the oils, so it's almost impossible to get those cleaned out of the aluminum. We can do something that's called outgassing or baking the part, but it never really gets the oil completely out. So what'll happen is I will get this all cleaned up as best I can, run it through the process, powder coat it, bake it, and then it will make little pock marks or little pimples all over the coating. So what I like to really do is, if it's aluminum, definitely brand new pieces. If it's steel, it doesn't really matter. Steel is not will not absorb like aluminum will. Anyway, now on to clean it. Okay, now that we have the physical cleaning process done, it's time to tape things up and block off threads and whatnot. What I will tell you about that is gasket surfaces need to be protected from the powder, because what you'll do is the powder coating adds 3 to 5 mil of thickness to it. So what I like to do is protect all of the important gasket surfaces on this one. What we do, the head surface, exhaust intake port, valve cover gasket area. What we'll do is we have silicone plugs that I will put in the plug hole, spark plug hole. Now all of these on the outside of the head, these little 6mm threads, that are for the tin, I'll just leave those alone. And what a person will have to do is they'll have to run a tap or a thread chaser through those. But we'll protect most every other one of them. Anyway, let's do that now. Okay, now we have the cylinder head taped up and all the gasket surfaces protected. Now what I'll do is I will go heat the oven up and get the booth going and coat this and bake it. This is probably the most time-consuming part of the whole deal, is the clean and prep, and then tape off, and protect things. Spark plug hole is protected. Just left all these 6mm like I told you about earlier. Just left them open. Anyway, there will always be a small amount of prep after the fact before this head gets bolted on. You might have a tiny spot where you get a little powder on the gasket surface. Basically super easy. A knife will scrape that off, or just resurface it. But just maybe a tiny amount getting certain areas. Now a part like this that's got a lot of deep crevices, powder will go in there pretty easy, but deep down in right here you may get a couple light spots, but on the basic whole of the piece, it'll have a very nice look and a very nice coating. Anyway, that's that stage. Okay, Paul, now we are out in the powder coat and machine shop, and what we got going on here, that's the hood I use. Basically, it's a pair of fans to draw things down and dump them out that direction, where it actually lets the powder come down, or draws it down. The next, probably more difficult item is fixturing, or hanging, or doing whatever you need to do to get your item powder coated. This rod is grounded. What you need to do is get, full cover on each one of your pieces, and then carefully move them from there. What I'll do with this is I'll take it from that, I'll set it on a pan, and then I will put it in a small oven. I have two ovens, one for pieces, small pieces, and then a larger one for much bigger pieces. One is electric and one is propane powered. So let's go ahead and put a little bit of coating on this. Found a little piece of tape, an errant piece of tape. Get it away. What you do with the powder is you apply it until the base color goes away, and then stop there. What will happen if you put too much powder on is you'll get a little bit of an orange peel look. So what we'll do from here is we're going to move this to the pan, and then I'll finish at the top. now we have a head that is coated. Now that right there is very easy to clean up. If you would happen to mess anything up, as far as you touch it or knock some of the powder off, it's just electrically attracted to the metal right now. Basically, you take a air and blow it right off. See how it just wipes? Now once it's baked, it's on. But right now, you could take an air nozzle and blow that completely off and just start over if you had to. So from here, we're going in the oven. That's that for now. Next little video will be the fully coated part. Okay, Paul, here it is fresh out of the oven. It is still very hot. Once it cools down, I'll go ahead and peel the tape off of it. Now that's a special silicone tape, so it'll survive the oven. Yeah, I better leave that alone. That's still warm. The reason why powder coat is so bitchin', this is a piece of tin foil right here, and this is just the overspray powder. And you see how resistant that is to bending. It just bends and does not break. That right there is what makes it badass. Besides that, it looks beautiful. Anyway. Okay, Paul. Now all of the tape is pulled off, and there is your finished product. You could actually do all this and then do a lot of machine work to it. I don't know how welding on it would work, so if you're going to want any of your weld up heads to be powder coated, you're probably going to want to weld on those first. She's a beauty.